Alright guys, so we're back for another full face of first impressions. I feel like I've done a lot lately, but you guys seem to be enjoying them. So today I want to use the Omrizi highlighter on camera. I have yet to do that. I want to try the new Patrick Star bronzer. Really excited to try the new Lawless foundation. Just picked this up. Also want to use the Benefit Professional Pearl Primer. I've been enjoying this off camera, but I haven't used it on camera. And then I also wanted to use the Sicily primer again. I've been using it, I think I've used it 3 times now. And then I have some amazing lip products that I want to tell you about, and I want to try out a new palette from an indie brand. So I have lots of new goodies, so I am not going to go on a full rant. I just want to get right into it. So we're going to start off with the Sicily Double Tensure Primer. Now I got a sample of this, which I had mentioned, and I've used it I think 2 or 3 times now. I just don't know my thoughts yet because I haven't really used it with kind of like my go-to foundation. I've been using it with that new Dior foundation, and I feel like I tried another foundation the other day. I can't remember. I feel like I've tried so much new stuff. So I'm just gonna apply this to the skin. If you missed my last video using this is very tacky, so hopefully it keeps your makeup on longer. Of course, it's very expensive. Everybody raves about it, you know, Jaclyn Hill and Jeffree Star and the whole shebang. So I just applied that. For my pores, I'm gonna go in with this Professional Pearl Primer. I did not think I was gonna like this because typically anytime something says pearl or illuminating, to me that means it's not gonna help with your pores. But I've been using this a lot. I'm almost out, if you can see. I do feel like this is almost better than, actually I think it is better than the Professional. I do like the Professional, but this one to me is thicker, and it does have that silicone feel, but it fills in the pores more. It's not as thin and slick as the other one, so I feel like your makeup stays on longer. So I'm applying this to the areas that I need smoothing, which is basically all over. Okay, so what I'm really excited to try is the new Flawless Finish makeup from Lawless Beauty. Now this brand is new at Sephora. They have liquid lipsticks and they just came out with this foundation. I can't get it out of the package. This is called the Woke Up Like This, and it comes in a bottle like this. It has a pump. It is plastic. This is similar to me. It's a glass bottle with a plastic pump. To me, it feels very similar to like the Huda Beauty packaging. And I believe this was almost $50, so not cheap. I got the shade Sonoran, which I feel like was a golden medium shade. So this is supposed to be medium to full coverage, supposed to be radiant from what I've read. So I'm just gonna pump out probably 2 pumps on the back of my hand. So this is what it looks like. So you can see it's in between thick and thin. It's still running, but it's pretty thick. So I just grabbed some on my beauty blender and we are going to blend. Definitely has some coverage. Has a scent. It's not, I don't want to say it's like really heavy, but definitely kind of like a spa scent, like a light floral maybe. Shade is very warm. Okay, so here's what it looks like full on. To me, I don't know. I feel like it's sticky and heavy. I just don't know. Like the Dior foundation was so lightweight. It felt pretty comfortable. This feels heavy to me. Like if I were to just like rub my hand on it, it would just like come off. It just feels heavy. I don't know how else to describe it. Feels sticky, tacky, heavy. And I don't necessarily think it's doing me any favors. I think that kind of like my pores and stuff look pretty large. It could change once we powder and everything, but my first impression is I don't like the way that this feels. Okay, so I applied a little bit of a nose contour. I'm gonna move on to concealer and see if I like it more. So I'm gonna use this light medium from Tarte. This is like the shade I use when I am pretty tan. My bulldog is snoring again. I literally don't know what to do. Like, I'm not gonna wake him up, but I just feel bad because in every voiceover, like, I get so mad because they sleep like all day. If anyone owns bulldogs, they basically wake up. Curtis is still in bed actually. He sleeps until like 3 p.m. He's like 8, so if you don't know, I have 2 English Bulldogs and a Pomeranian. So anyways, I love the breed, but they're very lazy. So like my one Bulldog wakes up in the morning and eats. He's very food motivated. And then like right now, he's downstairs 2 levels down on the couch snoring like a freight train. So I can hear it. I know you guys can hear it too. So there's really no avoiding it, but Bulldogs just sleep a lot. And then my other one, Curtis, he sleeps until like anywhere from noon to 4, and then he'll get up from like 4 to 10. So they're pretty lazy. All right, so I have my eyebrows on and we're gonna start the eye look. I'm really excited because I am partnering for this portion of the video with Crystal Hearts Cosmetics. This brand has really stolen my heart. First of all, the lipsticks. I did a look on Instagram with them wearing the shade Beverly. It has become one of my favorites. And I'll use one of these lipsticks going forward. But they have a new eyeshadow palette and it also has cheek colors in there. So this is what the outside packaging looks like. I'm going to give you a close-up. Really, really nice. Kind of feels like almost crocodile print, but it is a nice white, very thick, and it feels luxurious. So when you open up the palette, this is the inside. You have 4 shades that you can use to highlight the face. You can use as transitions, brow bones, and a blush. And then you have these shades here, 10 shades. So you have 5 mattes and 5 shimmers, and you do get a big mirror as well. To start off my look, I'm gonna go into the shade Smoky Quartz, and I am going to run this through my crease. Okay, so I'm gonna be using an M532, and I'm just gonna dip in, and I'm gonna really blow this out very lightly to give me a wash before we go in and add some color. These are very smooth. And then taking a little bit more of that same shade and focusing it on the outer portion. Okay, next I'm gonna go into the shade Jet Nut, which is just like a cool toned, deeper brown. I'm gonna use an R37 and we're gonna focus this lower, more into my actual crease in the outer corner. So we're just going to blend this lower than that first color. The first color was just kind of to really blow it out, smoke it out. And then taking that first brush and we're just going to blend. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of Black Diamond and mix it in with that Jet Nut. And I'm going to get a little bit deeper on the outside. I'm using the 19 brush from Wayne Goss. So I want to use a really light hand because blacks can be crazy intense. And then I am going to bring it in. So I'm laying down where I want that color and then going in with another brush and just blending. Okay, so now that I have the smokiness down, I'm going in with some Shape Tape and I am going to cut the crease. I just feel like with such a dramatic look, I want to have some definition there. So I'm just gonna use a M1708 and apply this. Okay, and so then on the inner portion, I'm gonna go in with the shade Sage, which is like this light kind of taupey shade, and I'm gonna start that there, and then I'm gonna go in with Morion, which is like a deeper shimmery kind of navy, and I am going to make it gradient. And applying it there. And then I'm going in with that second shade. Ooh, yes. Beautiful. And I'm just going to apply that. Okay, I'm really loving this lid shade. I'm going in with a Y19 and I'm going into that Jet Nut again, and I'm just going to do a little bit of deepening on this outer portion and blending these together. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to go into that first shade, Smoky Quartz, and I am going to blend this out, again, just to bring some warmth back. And then again, going into that Jet Nut to further deepen closer up to the lower lash line. So I'm going to pop some lashes on real quick off camera, and then we will start on the face. Okay, so I applied my lashes. I'm gonna go into this new Patrick Star bronzer. This is called Give Me Life. And I am going to use this to maybe contour. I don't see, it looks matte to me, so probably gonna contour and just bronze up my face. Definitely pretty warm. So I feel like this blended nicely. I don't know if the color is my favorite. It's a little bit warm. I mean, I think it's pretty, but it's leaning a little bit warm for me. And it's matte, which I prefer a little bit of a radiance. So like I prefer the Jouer duo that I used in my last video. So I like it. I'm not like blown away. Okay, so going back into the Crystal Hearts palette, I cannot wait to try this blush. This is called Light Rose. And to me, this looks kind of like a NARS Orgasm. Has a little bit of shimmer in it. So I am just going to put some on my brush. Oh yeah, this is definitely super pigmented. And then you can always go in with your beauty blender just to soften up anything. For highlighter, I want to go in with the new Omrizi collab with Anastasia. I've used this a couple times off camera, and for some reason I haven't been wowed. It's not that I don't like it, but it's not my go-to. So I want to use it on camera and let me know your thoughts. I'm going to use a E30 from Morphe, and I'm going to spritz it with some Nicole Concilio water, and we're just going to go in. Like, it's definitely reflective. I mean, it looks gorgeous when I'm looking at it right now, like in the viewfinder. I don't know what it is. So I don't know, I'm torn, because now that I'm looking at it, it's like growing on me, and I'm like, okay, that's really pretty. The couple times that I used it, I didn't have a full face on. I just kind of was like natural makeup, so I'm not sure if maybe that's why. Maybe it's more suited for like super intense makeup, but everybody's been raving about it. And I was like, I don't know, I'm not seeing it. But now that I'm like looking, it's very pretty. Okay, for lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with this Marc Jacobs highliner. This is the black shade. I don't know where my full size is, but I have this little sample from Sephora. And then going back into the palette, I am gonna go in with a little bit of Black Diamond and a small Y22 and try to kind of press this really close up against the lash line to kind of mesh in with that eyeliner. To start off my lips, I'm going to line with this Pat McGrath lip liner, and this is in the shade Done Undone. It's just a neutral liner. And my favorite shade of this Crystal Hearts Cosmetics, this is literally stunning. This is Top Drawer. It is just like the perfect neutral shade. The formula is really lightweight, but it dries down completely. Like, there's no stickiness, and I also love its full pigment. There's no streakiness. It's just gorgeous. I used this in First Impressions a few months back, and I posted it on Instagram, and you guys went crazy, and I'm in love with this color. And then to put in the center of that, just to give me a more nude look, I'm gonna go in with Samantha, which is a really kind of taupey nude shade. Alright guys, so here's the finished look. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Really loving the eyes, really loving the lips. The skin, ooh, I don't know. I really don't think I like this foundation, just the way it felt. I just didn't like it. I feel like I'm looking pretty dry up in my forehead area. I don't feel like my pores are smooth. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it a little bit more, but my first impression is I wouldn't recommend running out and spending $45 on it. So a little bit iffy on that. I definitely like the Dior foundation a lot better. Even though I have to layer it, I wore it the past 2 or 3 days and it wears beautifully. Whereas this one, I feel like I have a little bit of patching where that bronzer went. So not totally in love with that. The bronzer, okay, I think it's nice. I don't, again, particularly like matte bronzers as much as I like radiant bronzers, so I think it's nice, but I'm not like wowed. The Anastasia highlighter is actually growing on me, so it's definitely really pretty. Maybe it was just because I wasn't wearing it with the full face, but it's definitely prettier than I thought. The palette, really, really love it. I love supporting indie brands, as you know. The blush is super beautiful. I love that you get a big mirror, and I love that it's right down the middle. You get 5 mattes, and these are deep enough to work on anyone, and then you get those shimmers. Specifically, the one on my lid, Morion, is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. So definitely recommend this. Love supporting indie brands, and I have a code if you want to save 15% off Crystal Hearts. I will put it on the screen. I've talked about them before, but never, I don't think in a YouTube video other than that one lipstick. As far as lipsticks, I absolutely love these. As I said before, Beverly is hot fire. It's so beautiful. It's become one of my top drawer colors. And then Samantha, again, is hot fire. They do have some really, really intense shades. So I want to swatch a few of their new shades for you just to show you if you're interested in deeper shades and not like the nudes like I'm always into. So here are some swatches for you guys of some of their new shades, really bright shades. Specifically, I'm looking at this one. If I didn't have so much going on the eyes today, I would have worn this. So this is the shade Alani, Rose, Carmine, Krista, and then this deep chocolate brown Brandy. And in terms of the more neutral shades, we have Elizabeth, Olivia, Isabel, Samantha, and Beverly, which is my jam. So all in all, despite not liking the foundation, everything else is beautiful. I'm happy with everything that I tried. So if you want to try any Crystal Hearts Cosmetics products, I will leave my code up here. Again, I cannot stress enough how much I love the lipsticks. They really just dry down, but they're not super drying or cracky on the lips. They last a long time. They're thin in formula, so they don't get that, you know, butthole. I've had this on for maybe an hour now, and I don't have any kind of butthole lips, which is gross. And that happens with, like, sometimes with the Anastasia, the really drying, thicker consistencies. It just doesn't happen with that. I can put my lips together. There's no weird kind of separation. So really, really love it. Specifically Beverly and Samantha, my 2 jams. So please check them out. I love supporting indie brands, as I said before. I love working with them, and I feel passionate when I find a really good product. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope that you got to see how some new products worked, and hopefully I'm doing some different looks here for you and not just like the same old thing. I'm really loving doing these videos because it's pushing me to use deeper shades and go a little bit more smoky. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what products you'd like to try. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.